Well, the title race and the relegation race are blown wide open in the Premier League. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends, finally, who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. Down low is Sean. He supports Tottenham. And with us, finally, he was marooned in the ocean somewhere, but he has returned to us finally. It is Brad. He supports Chelsea. Brad, hello. Good day. How are you?
Hello. Fantastic. Very relaxed after my marooning, as you called it, with the family. Very relaxed. Very ready to go.
Yeah. Good. Because we've got a lot to talk about today. But before we get into all of that, if you could hit that subscribe button, ring the sub notification bell if you're on YouTube, drop a comment down below. Let us know what you think about it. If you're on one of the podcast sites, first, thanks so much for clicking on it. We really appreciate you. Let us know where you're watching from. And watch to the end. Hit the share button. Do all the things to help us out. We really do appreciate it. So where are we at right now, boys? It is April. It is mid-April. We're in the swings of the business end of all of the competitions. What's up, Sean?
We're in the fiery depths of HE double hockey sticks is where we are. That's where we are.
Some of us are trying to fight our way through Mordor. Others of us are. Some of us are vibing. Some of us are stressed.
Vibing.
Some of us
is correct.
Some of us are.
There are no vibes.
And I quote, happy that our team lost this weekend. Some of us are. And we will get into all of that. This is going to be our review of round 32. We're going to talk about relegation. We're going to talk about the title race. And then on Friday, this is going to be a double episode week. Finally, again, we've got more Premier League this weekend. So you'll definitely want to make sure that sub notification bell is clicked so that you are alerted on Friday. I think we should start at the top of the table. Just work our way logically top to bottom. Arsenal lost Saturday morning against Bournemouth at home. It's a pretty devastating loss, especially when City kind of predictably rolled Chelsea on Sunday. And so the gap at the top is now 6 points, and City have a game in hand. Now, that will everything will be really, really spicy next Sunday at the Etihad when Arsenal travel to Manchester to face Manchester City. A lot will be riding on that game. Now,
they can effectively tie for the lead. What's the goal differential? Do you have it handy?
It's not. I can pull it up. It's not a lot. It's not
negligible.
Tremendous. It's close.
Negligible.
3.
Yeah. So
3.
You would imagine
who's done more.
Leading?
Who's leading? Could have done more. Arsenal.
Arsenal's up by 3. But okay. We all agree that the first tiebreaker is goal difference, right? In the Premier League.
Yeah.
It should be head to head. Italy does head to head. If both teams are tied, they do head to head, like the record between them. And if City beat Arsenal on Sunday, then City would clearly have the head to head record over them because they drew at the Emirates in September, and so that would mean City had the head to head. But objectively, I think the head to head record is smarter if there's only 2 teams tied. But I digress. I think it's goal difference. And so, there is a world. There's a world where Arsenal lose against City next Sunday, and can still win the Premier League. It's obviously, I think whoever wins next Sunday will be the de facto shoo-in. But before we get there, we kind of have to digest what happened last weekend. And so Arsenal looked anemic, for lack of a better word. They looked basically toothless. And I think that stems mostly from 2 things. The first being Martin Odegaard has been injured. And I think a lot of Arsenal's shortcomings offensively have been around the fact that Odegaard has not played a substantial role since November or December. He has been off and on injured, and he just can't stay fit right now. And he is our most creative player. And so much of our offense flows through him. And for whatever reason, just slotting Eze into that position has not been effective. And I think it's also it's also been compounded by the fact that other players like Saka have been injured, especially in this most recent game against Bournemouth. Saka didn't play, and Ben White is good. He's, I think, looks like he hasn't played a lot of football in the last 6 months, right? And so he just started the last 3 games. He's probably going to start against Sporting right now. And so I think that he just looks like he hasn't played a lot of football in the last 9 months, which is true.
Is Trossard injured?
Trossard is not injured, but
normally when you guys need a spark on offense or you look toothless, you just put on Trossard and say, "Yeah, get after it," and it just does magical things off the left side.
That was certainly true at the beginning of the season. Trossard was our super sub.
In the last 2 seasons.
Well, especially at the beginning of this season.
2.5 seasons.
He was the super sub at the beginning of the season in the Premier League, and Martinelli was the super sub at the in the Champions League. And so neither one of them would start the game and play particularly well. So it's just, this Arsenal team looks very exhausted and out of ideas. It looks like the way that they're trying to approach games, all of the other teams that they're playing just understand how to stifle them, and then they just do. And then Arsenal don't seem to have a good backup plan right now. And so that does not bode well for the last 6 games. Now, I am still confident that we win the Premier League, but it's looking grim. And then if we turn the page to Sunday, kind of talk about City, they looked imperious against Chelsea. Like, they looked like a City that's coming into the end of the season. Do you disagree, Brad?
Second half, definitely. You're 100% correct. First half, I think, was more even.
Yes.
Second half, yeah. Second half, they pumped us 100%.
And that's kind of what I wanted to see from Arsenal. Like, the first half was quite even in the Arsenal match. They got the penalty, which I think was fair, and scored it. And then I was like, okay, come out in the second half and dominate. And that's not what Arsenal did. Whereas City against Chelsea, that's what they did. And they came out in the second half and they just, their skill and their class just shone, and they won the game. They needed 3 points. They went and got 3 points. Now, it's possible they were boosted and buoyed by the fact that they had seen Arsenal lose the day prior. And so maybe that gave them a little bit more confidence. But it doesn't, not looking good, blood.
Yeah, it makes this weekend very, very spicy. And I mean, Havertz is a 10. Havertz doesn't have a position, as I think you finally learned.
No, I've been well aware of Havertz kind of amorphous positioning. Like he's not. I think his best position is as a 9, but I also think his best position might be as like a second striker, kind of more like of a Dennis Bergkamp role, kind of playing off of Gyökeres more. And so it would be really interesting if Arteta tried a 4-4-2 and played.
That's what he did at Bayer, actually. He was more of like a second striker off the right side.
Yeah, I think that would be really intriguing to see him play a 4-4-2 with Gyökeres and Havertz together up top. And maybe let Odegaard kind of sit more as a 10 behind them. I think that could be really, really intriguing. But that would then completely change the shape and the structure of the team, that I don't think that Arteta would do that at this point in the season. It would be such a drastic departure from what they've been doing.
And how much do you get out of Havertz doing that? Like,
I think the other issue is that how much time does he have per game, right? Like, he's just coming back from an injury. He's building up his fitness as well. He only played 60 minutes in the last 2 matches. He can't really do much more right now. So
yeah.
But I think it could be. I think it could be interesting.
To just kind of like launch off of your point, like when we say run a 4-4-2, it kind of sounds like take it back to caveman style, but like just hoofball and 4-4-2 and Sam Allardyce.
You mean proper Barclays Premier League football?
Yeah, proper Barclays.
Barclays style.
That's where your mind goes when you say 4-4-2. But with modern football and modern a modern football mind with a modern football player like Arsenal have, you could run a 4-4-2 and not be anemic hoofball
Yeah.
proper Barclays. Like you could actually run it as an effective offense
I
and
mean,
be okay.
the thing about it is like Arsenal played a 4-4-2 in the mid aughts and in the early thought. Like, like Arsene Wenger was running a 4-4-2 and everybody else was running a 4-4-2. So it's not like and Arsenal were playing the most beautiful football in the world at that point. Right. And
Yeah, like you could do it
you can
beautifully.
do it.
It doesn't.
Yes.
It's not Sam Allardyce. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Stuffer ball.
It's not Tony Pulis.
It can be done.
Exactly.
It can be done beautifully.
And I think it could be really intriguing to see Gyökeres and Havertz playing off of each other. But that to me seems like an experiment I want to see happen in September and October and not in April. Because the problem is if you experiment in April and it doesn't work, then you've just boned yourself.
Then you just
it just seems like the
4-4-2. He's gonna pick up a bottle. Yeah. Oh wow, so funny. So
it just seems like the 4-4-2 is a 4-4-2 letter word, if you know what I mean, of information.
Yep. Now it's funny, Brad, that you chuckle about that because your team is in the hunt for Champions League positions.
Yes.
So I want you to defend the claim that you were happy whether Chelsea beat City or Chelsea lost to City.
Yeah. So
How can that make you happy that Chelsea lost?
Because this will inevitably lead to the biggest asterisk on the Arsenal trophy when City's hit with whatever things happen to City. Is really what it is for the memes. We got 6 games left. We got to get top 5. We'll make it. I'm not.
Do you honestly
Liverpool
believe that?
Are falling off? Yes.
Do you legitimately think that you, over the last 6 games, will pick up more points than Liverpool?
Yes.
Because I'm not certain you will. And the reason why I say that is because your run of form of the last 5 games is 3 points out of the last 15.
I know. It's been fun.
It seems to me that it's like pure cope that you are like, yeah, we'll just do it. Like, is there a world where you guys fall behind Brentford? I think there's a legitimate question there because you guys play United on this weekend coming up, and while United are not good, they have been at least more consistent over the last 4 months, and maybe they have a little chip on their shoulder after losing the Leeds last weekend. I don't know. What's happening if Chelsea have lost to United and we come into Red Card Radio next weekend? Is it still?
Well, sure.
Is it still 5 games?
That is a conversation that we're getting Europa League. Like, sure.
Okay.
If we don't beat United, then it's probably Europa League, and we're hoping for Villa to win the Europa League. Right? Like Villa wins the Europa League, we're in Champions League.
Got it.
Liverpool wins champion. Oh no, Liverpool got knocked out. Never mind.
Does Arsenal winning the Champions League get you another spot too?
I don't think so. I don't know.
But then how would Liverpool winning the Champions League help you?
Because the spot moves down, so we get 6 teams. Maybe Arsenal.
You can just root for Arsenal in the Champions. Just root for Arsenal in the Champions League then.
If Villa win the Europa League, it does not help you.
I don't want that.
You do not get.
Yes, because Villa's in the top 5, they would get their automatic qualification through winning the Europa League trophy. That's how you qualified for the Champions League as 17th.
Yeah, they would qualify as.
No, we won because we actually won the trophy. We didn't get a handout participation trophy extra slot because somebody in the top 5 won the Europa.
But what
right, you're missing my point. You're saying that Aston Villa wouldn't get it because it wouldn't do anything but they won the Europa League.
He's saying Brad.
I'm just saying there's not an extra spot because they're already in there.
No. Chelsea would get an extra spot because Villa don't qualify as a league position qualifier. They would qualify as the Europa League champions. The next team below them would be the teams that qualify based on league position. So it would be Chelsea that get the participation trophy qualification.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be merit based. It would be
California ribbon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I do I think that there's like a world where Chelsea could slip a few positions here because you guys have just been out of sorts. And you weren't here over the last 2 weeks when we kind of talked about this Enzo Fernandez situation. I want to get your take on it really quickly before we move on, because how do you feel Chelsea handled Enzo Fernandez, and do you think they handled it properly?
Yeah. I mean, it's not a true 2-game suspension. Like, let's be real. Like, he wasn't gonna play in that FA Cup game, or shouldn't have played in that FA Cup game.
Sure.
So it's a 1-game suspension. Yes, it's kind of sucks that City was the next team on the schedule, but like, if you're gonna go all out punishment based on who we're playing, that doesn't make sense. Like, yes, this is the first real player punishment we've seen from Chelsea, from a manager, since probably Jose.
Do you think that spells the end of his Chelsea career?
Enzo?
Yes.
It's a possibility. I don't know. We'll see. The way that we sell players, yes. But I also don't think that this suspension would have ended his career. Like, I think he was already on the
Sure.
well, let's make money off of him now list.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
fair enough. It has seemed like this relationship has soured over the last 4 months or so, because he seemed to be pretty upset that Maresca was fired.
yeah, the Maresca left. Yeah.
Okay, true. Yeah, he left and wasn't fired.
He left.
Thank you for that.
Sorry. They say he was fired, but like, homie was like, no, y'all, I wanted a central defender. Y'all said no. So like, no, I'm not gonna be the coach.
Yeah. All right. Let us know in the comments who you think's gonna is Chelsea going to land in the Champions League? I'd be curious to know what people think. I think we should turn our attention down to the other end of the table, to the business end, as I think we should say, because we had a relegation 6-pointer between Wolves and West Ham, and West Ham thoroughly passed that test. And I think, Sean, we were talking about this because you made the point that Wolves would have been upset at the international break coming up because they had been in such good form up into the international break. And then they broke for 3 weeks, essentially, and then they get pumped in their next match.
It broke their momentum.
Yeah.
So, and who's to say West Ham just didn't have a little kumbaya, come to Jesus moment over the 3 weeks. I don't know how many international players they have. I guess they have a few. But the majority of their team was together for 3 weeks, practicing at least a few days a week. I'm sure they give them some time off, but at least a few days a week. Working on some things.
And so for Wolves, if West Ham pick up 3 points and if Forest pick up 2 points, they will effectively be relegated. If West Ham get to 30, Wolves' highest point total right now is 35 points. And West Ham are on 32. Forest are on 33. Leeds are safe at 36 from falling to 20th. So Leeds can't get to 20th. So Leeds won't finish last in the Premier League. Congrats to them. What's wrong, Brad?
Yay!
Okay.
No, nothing. I'm just trying to do math.
Yeah, I thought you were questioning my math.
I wasn't.
Okay, so effectively, Wolves need West Ham to lose all the rest of their games in order for Wolves to be able to claw their way out of relegation. So effectively, it seems like Wolves are dead in the water. That was a big game for them, I think.
It was a huge game.
Yeah.
And Sean, I have a little bit of a light for you. You could technically still finish above Chelsea.
In the women's?
No, on goal difference. 30 plus 18 is 48. We're at 48 points. So you could theoretically finish above Chelsea.
Could you imagine if that happened?
Oh my gosh.
If Chelsea lose the next 6 games and Tottenham win the next 6 games,
let me tell you something.
It would be phenomenal. Sean would never shut up. I would have to quit the pod.
No. I would be so happy we're out of relegation zone that I wouldn't. You know what? You'd be an afterthought. Chelsea would be an afterthought. But let me tell you something, Brad. I have watched almost every game of Tottenham this year. There is absolutely zero chance that we win not only 6 games in a row, that we win 2 games in a row. It is zero shot on earth. It's doubtful that we even win a singular game throughout the rest of the season.
That's an interesting question because we need to unpack that a little bit. I want to look at Spurs' remaining fixtures. Spurs lost against Sunderland on Sunday. 1-0
Correction. We
Stadium
lost
of Light.
against Sunderland and Rob Jones.
Yes. So I'm gonna give you the
shit.
I'm gonna give you the
Oh
floor.
no.
I'm gonna give you the floor to kind of explain your thinking here. Why and how Tottenham were robbed.
Okay, Broby should have had a red card against his yellow card, possibly a red card on his challenge against Romero. Very late, clatters into his legs that were planted, extremely dangerous and late and reckless. All things required for a red card. Was it even called a foul? No, it was not.
It was called a foul.
It was not.
It was.
It was play on.
It was called a foul.
It was not play on, Sean. It was a foul. They called a foul.
It was a foul on Tottenham.
It was barely a whisper.
It was a foul on Tottenham.
No, it wasn't, Brad. It was a foul on robbery. They called a foul on him.
And then he gets a yellow card for probably his least offensive foul, honestly. Like, out of the things that he did. He later pushes Romero, which tears his ACL, sends him clattering into Kinski, and causes Kinski to bleed all over the pitch and have his head wrapped up. Nope, nothing there. Nothing to see here. So 3 yellow card worthy instances, and he gets one of them, which was the least offensive.
What I will say about the push on Romero that caused Romero to be injured is that it's a foul, but it's certainly not a yellow card foul. And the reason why I say this is because one of the things I hate the most is when defenders intentionally put their bodies in between attackers and the ball, and then they stop. Right, like when they use their body to shield.
Kind of like the attacking player in front of Van de Ven when he was trying to defend the ball, and then the attacking player looked back at him, shielded him, and then went over on contact, and Van de Ven was given a yellow.
Yeah,
earlier in the game, mind you.
Van de Ven straight up shoved that man. Van de Ven clattered.
Yeah, Broby straight up shoved Romero. That's what you just said. He shoved him.
But you're missing the context here because
what do you mean?
And the reason why you're missing
You're
the context,
contradicting yourself right after.
I'm not, because the difference is that the attacker is trying to hold off the defender so he can maintain the ball going towards the goal, whereas the defender is trying to shield the attacker from getting the ball.
Which is more likely to flop, the striker or the defender?
The defender in that position. 100%.
So the striker in the attacking zone is not looking to go over. He's not looking back for contact.
Both of them are. Both of them are. Equally.
Okay, so they're an equal situation.
All
right,
equal.
so Broby should have had another yellow.
the contexts were not equal. The contexts were
exactly equal.
They were not.
The striker looked back at him and saw him coming, and then turned his back and shielded him, and then went over on contact.
Because he needs to know where he is in order to hold him off and be strong, so he can collect the ball and go towards the goal. Whereas what Romero is trying to do is Romero doesn't have any interest in playing the ball. Romero doesn't want to play the ball. All he's trying to do is stop the attacking player from playing the ball. I'm not saying it's illegal. I'm saying all defenders do it. It's smart to do it, but it's different because Romero has zero interest in playing the ball. His sole purpose is to put his body in between the other player and the ball. Whereas
I would make a strong argument that the striker had zero interest in playing that ball. He was strictly looking for contact to get a free kick.
Well, against Van de Ven?
And they almost scored. Yes, and they almost scored.
I disagree that if Van de Ven's not there, then he is going to collect the ball and score. If Mabry isn't there on the other end, then Romero's still not collecting the ball and he's letting Kinski take it. So like the differences is that if you remove the person who did the foul, the other way, like the foul inhibited the ability to score a goal. The Van de Ven one inhibited the ability to score a goal, whereas the other one, it would have played out exactly the same way.
Now, we have now talked about 4 questionable calls. Let's move on to our 5th. So now this is a point I made in our group chat. We have talked about now 5 questionable calls. How many in a game questionable calls that go Sunderland's way until you would say, hey, this is a little fishy. So let's talk about the 5th one. How about when Udogie had an arm bar to his throat and got his calf stepped on?
No.
By the last defender, by the way. I'm not even saying, like, if you remove denial of an obvious goal scoring opportunity, remove that. It's still a foul.
I disagree. I don't think it's a foul. In my view of it, I don't think it's a foul.
Brad, studs to a calf.
But stop.
Has that been adjudicated?
Brad, that's not the
Doesn't matter.
Both ways.
Intent.
That's
intent
not the
or no
context.
intent?
It's been adjudicated both ways.
He's
sir.
intentionally leaving out context in order to fit the narrative that the
What's
Sunderland
the
player
context? He's behind the last defender.
The
He gets armbarred in the throat and stepped on his
he
calf.
doesn't. The context is that the defender and the offensive player, they go shoulder to shoulder, which is legal. You're allowed to push shoulder to shoulder with another player, and then their legs tangle.
On someone's calf from the side.
He didn't step on his calf.
You have to be behind him.
He didn't step on his calf.
Is this what you sent? Is this?
I took a still frame for you so you could see it.
No.
Is this a picture?
You showed me a still frame of his foot touching the back of his foot.
Oh, it looks like he's falling.
Studs to a calf.
Disagree.
He's falling.
I think it's very.
How about the armbar across his throat?
You didn't.
Looks like he's falling.
You're trying to avoid that because you didn't show the whole video. If you watch the video, it's not.
I did send the whole video Monday. It just because the way Europe is now, we can't watch the videos because they were like, this video isn't for your country, so you can't watch it anymore. But if you go previous in there, that video's in the chat. You just can't see it anymore.
Well, I saw the whole video today, and I disagree that is a foul. Udogie didn't even. If
that was your player, you would be livid. You would be livid.
I don't think I would be. I don't think I would be.
You would.
I think
if your team was in the relegation zone, and you have been battling the refs all year, and that call goes against you, it's outside of the penalty. It's outside of the penalty zone. So it's not going to be a penalty, and I'm not even asking for a yellow, although that's been consistently a yellow/red all year. It's kind of like a traffic light. Who knows if it's going to be green, yellow, or red? Don't know, because PGML doesn't know. So don't care. It's a foul. Call the foul and give us the play.
I disagree. It's a foul. I think the thing is...
let's move on to the 6th one.
Hold on, time out.
All right, so how about the mystery handball on Kolo Muani when he's going out on a breakaway where it goes off his head?
Oh, that one was bad. Just seen poorly. That's seen poorly.
Yeah, it's seen poorly, but it's also a late whistle when he realizes, oh crap, this is gonna go bad for Sunderland. Let me blow the whistle late. Okay, let's move on to Pedro Porro getting yeeted into the sideline by Broby.
That when he got the yellow
card? They're jostling for the ball. Porro is behind him. He's kind of jostling, and the guy just finally says, yeah, and throws him like he's taking off a winter jacket.
Is that a red card for you?
No, it wasn't a red card, but it's a foul in our ball.
He got the yellow card for it. That's where Bobby got his yellow card, bro.
No. He did not.
There was a yellow card for that.
Yeah, should have been a red. All right, let's move on to the rescinded penalty.
Okay, I have thoughts about this as well.
I wanted to end on this one because the most interesting part for me when we were texting back and forth about it is that you seemed
sympathetic.
Sympathetic, but then tickled by the fact that it was the result of the VAR was Sunderland ball. You seem to laugh at that and find it comical.
Well, okay, so
because I did too.
Well, it had to be. It has to be a drop ball. That's what.
The last touch off of the last touch before it goes out over the touchline is from a Sunderland player. It's a corner kick.
But the play is effective. But anything that happens, it's okay. The play is called dead when the penalty is awarded. The ball technically hasn't gone out of play. It's not, this is a penalty or a corner kick. It's, this is a penalty. The play stops at the moment the penalty is given. And so then VAR goes back and says, okay, that's not a penalty. The ref agrees, okay, that's not a penalty. The ball never went out of bounds, technically. Technically, the ball never went out of bounds. And so the only way that you can do that, and the way that they have ruled that they're going to do that, is it's going to be a drop ball for the defense. Because you can't give the offense a drop ball in the other team's penalty box. So it wasn't, they didn't give it as a foul against Kolo Muani. They gave it as a drop ball, which is what they always do for any overturned penalties.
So Muani gets, by a late second defender, gets aggressively and late and recklessly slid into his planted foot. One leg was up.
I don't think either feet were planted. I think both were in the air.
Doesn't matter. Slid into extremely aggressively, recklessly, and late by some random defender who was never ever going to get to the ball. And then they said, "No, actually, Muani was already going to the ground because he was shoved by the first defender."
Okay, which one is the foul for you? Which one is the foul?
Either one, take your pick. The late recklessness or the shove that has him going over in the first place.
Okay,
take your pick.
So I think people should pause the video and go, pause this video, pull up a YouTube short of that or something like that and watch the penalty that was rescinded. And the reason why I say that is because if you watch the right foot, so it's Kolo Muani is in between two Sunderland defenders. The one, and the best shot is from the sideline looking onto the field. On the right side of the frame, so to the left of Kolo Muani, on the right side of the frame is the player who's sliding in. Now on the right side of Kolo Muani, on the left side of the frame is the other Sunderland player. Now that Sunderland player wins the ball first, and then Kolo Muani's foot hits his Achilles, and so their feet come together after the Sunderland player wins the ball, and then Kolo Muani starts going over, and then the slide from his left comes in and kind of clatters through everything and cleans everything up. But all of the slide and the clattering through and the Kolo Muani foot to the Sunderland player's Achilles happens after the Sunderland player wins the ball. And so that's why I think the VAR had Rob Jones look at it. Because the Sunderland player's foot touches the ball first.
Okay. Mind you, penalty call on the field.
Yes, correct.
All year, they have rarely overturned themselves. Now, today, here on Sunday, they overturned themselves.
I don't think you have empirical evidence.
Let's move on to number 8.
You don't
have Kolo Muani, breakaway in the first 15, 20 minutes. Breakaway, last defender, slide tackles him. Does he get the ball? Yes. Takes out his entire feet, though. Aggressive play. Leaves his feet out, doesn't pull his feet back. So,
okay, well, if
aggressive play, last defender.
So what do you want that to be?
Yellow, minimum.
Okay, well then
free kick.
Okay. If that's a yellow, then the yellow card that Romero got would have been a red card based on the violence of the two tackles. Because yes, the Sunderland player slides in and wins the ball and his legs are still up in the air and they kind of touch Muani's legs. He doesn't take out a planted leg or something like that. It doesn't scissor kick him. He just he tackles, he wins the ball and his feet are flailing and they kind of run into Muani. Like that,
let's move on to questionable call on number 9. Richarlison getting pulled back.
That should have been a yellow card. 100%. That should have been a yellow card.
You see what I'm saying, Brad? Like, how many questionable calls do we need to get to before we're like, all right, all of these calls are going in Sunderland's way? Like, when do we get to a point where we decide, okay, maybe this is a really questionable game?
So what I think you have legitimate cause to be upset about is the first challenge on Romero where it was late. That should have been a yellow card, and the pullback on Richarlison. But then I also think you need to be upset at the fact that Richarlison fluffed is a donkey, and that in front of goal he just fluffs everything.
Actually, he's a pigeon.
Also, how did you not have a goal scored with Richarlison? What, you had 3 strikers on?
Yeah,
was it Richarlison?
I can tell you why. Because we're fighting
and Solanke.
We're fighting for our life in the last 30 minutes. You probably saw this at 1.5 speed, James. We're fighting for our life last 30 minutes. Poro takes a short corner kicks it back to him, and he punts it to our practice facility. Like, it landed in the upper deck. It wasn't even close. Like, That's
Bro,
what I'm
do
saying.
they-
We suck enough by ourselves. I'm tired of fighting the refs, man. Just call a fair game. We're gonna bleep it up anyway. Like,
Do we-
just like we
Is
don't
there a
need
video?
it. The other team doesn't need help.
I can show
Is
you.
there a
after.
video of like the goal getting bigger and bigger and bigger for this game? Because that
Oh,
would
it
be
would have been worse.
amazing.
It would have been worse than who was that? Havertz? Who did they do that to?
They did.
No,
they did to a lot of people.
There's a lot of people, but Sterling was one of them that was terrible.
Or maybe it was Gork. It was Gorkarez.
They've done it. They've done it a couple times.
Yeah.
It was some Arsenal player where
They've done
it
it
was shanked so bad.
I think they've done it to
Well, no.
Gyökeres. I think they've done it to Havertz. I think they've done it to Eze. I think they did it to Sterling
It would
last
have
year.
to be. It would have to be roughly the size of a New York City apartment complex to reach where Poro kicked this ball
Yeah,
to.
he missed that hard.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah.
Now that you've gotten all that out of your system,
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to know what the 6 remaining games are for you guys?
I know what they are.
Okay.
I don't need. You want to run through it for comedic effect?
Yes. All right.
Because it's not
Yes.
good for me.
All right. Home.
Brighton?
Yeah. Home against Brighton. Is that 3? Is that
No.
3? How many you got there? How many points you get there?
0.
Okay. Wolves away.
Okay. Wolves away?
I don't know if you guys noticed in my picks. You're gonna get it again in 2 weeks.
This is prayers.
My picks said Sunderland, Spurs. Please God, let it be Spurs.
Oh, yeah.
And you're gonna get that again when we play Wolves. Spurs. Please God, let it be Spurs. Please.
All right. What do we got? What do we got in May, Brad?
We got Villa away.
0.
That's 0.
You Leeds at the Toilet Bowl.
0.
You can win that game.
I think that's your best shot at 3 points if it's not Wolves. I think collectively there might be 2 wins here.
I could dig a hole in my backyard and find a gold nugget, but that's also not gonna happen either.
Then the week I'm waiting for, the match week 37. You
0.
come to the bridge. And then you're home against Everton on the last day.
Also 0. All right.
I don't think it's I think there's
We have 3 points.
There's about 6, I think, that's doable here.
I
We're
mean,
fighting the refs every week.
West Ham.
You probably get a point from Brighton. You need to beat Leeds or
we can't.
Wolves. You need to win one of those 2 games.
We can't.
I think you get a point at Brighton.
I think you guys will be fine. And the reason why I think you'll be fine is because West Ham have just as hard a run in. They've got Crystal Palace. When you guys play Brighton, they play Crystal Palace. When you play Wolves, they play Everton. That's a tougher game for West Ham. When you play Villa, they play Brentford. Brentford are phenomenal. When you play Leeds, they play Arsenal. When you play Chelsea, they play Newcastle away. And then when you play Everton on the final day, they play Leeds on the final day. So, as grim as it looks for you, West Ham still have a mountain to climb as well. So
Doesn't matter.
All right, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. All right, guys. Well, great. We were all. I mean, I was the happiest of the 3 of us.
Which is
from this week's results.
the least honorable thing you've ever done in your life, Brad.
Maybe.
Fair.
Maybe.
Fair.
There's a couple of things in the closet behind me, sir.
All right, we'll see you Friday, guys. Thanks for listening.
Okay. Hit us up on social media. That guy's at KSBradG. Whiteheart_Sean. I'm at James Tiffany. Collectively, we are at RedCard_Radio. We will be back on Friday. Come see us. No closets will be opened then. Until then, have a good one, and we will see you all soon.